Even the smartest man in the multiverse gets it wrong sometimes. Hey guys, Noah from WatchMojo here, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times Rick Sanchez was wrong.
I'm not Doofus Rick! I'm Rick J19 Zeta 7! Oh, is that the timeline where everybody eats poop?
For this list, we'll be taking a look at the times Morty's grandpa Rick made the wrong call, underestimated a person or situation, or failed in some capacity. If you like what you're hearing, be sure to check out the full song at the link below. Number 10, Abe Rodolphe Linkler, Rixie Business.
Oh, great. Who invited Abe Rodolphe Linkler?
When it comes to scientific experimentation, Rick has never been one to let either good taste or ethics get in his way. This cavalier attitude is on full display when he's confronted by Abe Rodolphe Linkler, a blended clone of both Adolf Hitler and Abraham Lincoln.
Rick, you brought me into this world, a suffering abomination, tortured by the duality of its being.
Rick claims that Linkler is the result of his attempt to create a morally neutral super leader, but really Linkler is a walking, talking bag of yikes with all kinds of issues.
Look, I'm half Abraham Lincoln, so...
So, I should get on my knees and kiss your ass?
Well, no, but... you know...
What?
Always at odds with his polarizing moral impulses, Linkler is a mess and far from what Rick intended. It's really no wonder Linkler has it out for Rick.
It's weird, because I definitely think that all men are created equal, but at the same time...
Okay,
Number 9, Take Things for Granted, Morty's Mind Blowers. In this anthology episode, we're treated to a smorgasbord of traumas that were so bad Morty had them permanently removed from his memory banks. However, we soon learn that sometimes Rick has done a little cerebral editing when it suits him.
Wait a minute. Why would I ask for that to be removed? Are the red one stuff you wanted removed? Ooh, that's clever, Morty.
In one memory, Morty sees that Rick thought that the expression to take something for granted was take for granite.
Really makes you think, huh, Morty? We should never take things for granted. What? I'm just saying, life's short. We shouldn't take things for granted. Are you saying granite?
It's a small thing, but funny. Rick never lets anyone else live down the littlest, most petty flub up.
How long have you been saying that wrong? Oh, you like that, huh? I bet that really blows your mind. I mean, yeah, it's kind of great.
That this sociopathic genius didn't fully understand an idiom related to gratitude, actually, considering it's Rick, we're not surprised.
Want me to erase it? What? You can do that? Oh, shit.
Number 8, 20-minute adventure, rest and relaxation. Rick's general disregard for Morty, his needs, and his schedule are the backbone of the entire show. A number of episodes begin with Rick just dragging Morty off, out of bed, out of school, etc., to take part in his latest adventure. All things considered, it usually works out and Rick is generally in control.
We need to go on a quick adventure. You said I could go to school today. That was before I needed something, Morty.
So in this cold open, there's no reason for the audience to believe that this 20 minutes adventure will be any different. Jump cut to a crazed space chase, a thermonuclear explosion, and the best freakout in animation. So much for In and Out.
That was pure luck! I was not in control of that situation at all!
Number 7, Operation Phoenix, Big Trouble in Little Sanchez. Rick likes to play God. A lot. Even with himself, apparently. Taking a dive into youthful hijinks, Rick becomes Tiny Rick, a younger, more fun-loving version of himself.
Help me! Help me! I'm gonna die! Tiny Rick! Thanks, everybody!
This guy's amazing!
I love Tiny Rick!
At first, it seems like an improvement, until Summer realizes something is seriously wrong.
You ratted on me! I'm Tiny Rick!
Fine, yes, because I love you, and I'm trying to save your life!
High school is my life!
Morty and Summer save Rick from dying in a jar in his lab, and he gives Operation Phoenix the literal axe. It was a huge misstep, and sort of makes you wonder how Rick could have miscalculated so badly that his life depended on angst and being the dude who brings a guitar to a party.
Thanks, kids. You figured it out. Well, Summer did.
Number 6, Evil Morty, close Rick counters of the Rick kind. One of Rick's blind spots is his arrogance. So not only is he successfully, for a time, framed for murder, he's caught by the rogue Rick who's really killing off other Ricks. Or is he?
You alone have been going to the exact timelines and locations in which the murders occurred. What? That's ridiculous.
The point is, it isn't even a Rick doing all that slaying, it's Evil Morty. But Rick, as far as we've been shown, totally buys that it was this rando Rick.
And the council ain't gonna stop thinking it's me until we clear our names by finding the real Rick killer. I'm scared, Rick.
We don't yet know what Evil Morty's plans are, or what precisely his beef with Rick C-137 is, although we have our theories, but it seems clear that Rick's tendency to underestimate Morty's, broadly speaking, is a big mistake. Number 5, Unity's feelings. Autoerotic assimilation. After a chance encounter, Rick rekindles the spark of an old flame. Unity, the hive mind.
You're guests here on my planet. You're free to be yourselves. I've never been any good at disappointing Rick.
At first they click, and Rick seems to think that Unity, like him, is down for letting the good times roll on and on. But it's not long before Unity sees what a terrible influence Rick is and how destructive his personality can be.
I realize now that I'm attracted to you for the same reason I can't be with you. You can't change.
And I have no problem with that, but it clearly means I have a problem with myself.
Rick is a genius, but in many ways, also incredibly emotionally immature. He didn't see her change of heart and mind, or mind in this case, coming. Rick's not used to being the one left behind, so when Unity leaves abruptly, it's such a crushing blow to his sense of self-worth that he's brought to his lowest point in the show to date. Number 4, simulation inside a simulation. M. Night Shyamalan's. It's not that Rick wasn't suspicious that something was up.
I am going to work. Morty, good morning. Dad, good morning. I am going to work. Goodbye.
All those sloppy little details sort of gave the Zygerian scammers away. One might argue that Rick was in control the whole time. We'd like to point out, though, that while he had first suspected Morty was a simulation, he really was convinced of Morty's realness for a time. At least enough to be paranoid and get all knifey later at home.
You little son of a bitch! Are you a simulation? Huh? Are you a simulation? No!
But once he worked it out, he administered that old Sanchez payback. You know the old saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Number 3, therapy. Pickle Rick.
I'm Pickle Rick!
One of Rick's greatest problems is that, because he's often the smartest man in the room, he believes that gives him the most insight, and that his interpretation of any given situation is always the correct one. Due to his controlling ways, he's bullied his family into believing the same. When Beth brings the kids to therapy, Rick, who was supposed to attend, has a crazy method of avoiding the session.
Okay, let's open things up to the whole family, and let me ask this. Why do we think Grandpa turned himself into a pickle?
He arrives late, cynical as ever, but within seconds the therapist sees through him and eloquently lays his issues bare.
Rick, the only connection between your unquestionable intelligence and the sickness destroying your family is that everyone in your family, you included, use intelligence to justify sickness.
He's wrong about himself not needing therapy and about his family in so many ways, but perpetually refuses to acknowledge the problems.
You chose to come here, you chose to talk, to belittle my vocation, just as you chose to become a pickle.
Avoiding being wrong is not the same as being right.
That's our time.
Number 2, wedding ambush. The wedding squanchers.
Greetings, this is Bird Person.
And Tammy!
Inviting you to Planet Squanch for our mate-melding ceremony.
Ugh.
When Rick and the Smith family get invited to the wedding of Bird Person and Tammy, Rick thinks it's going to suck because he's pessimistic about the institution of marriage and relationships in general. Ultimately, they go, and Rick even wishes Bird Person and Tammy well.
Bird Person is my best friend. And if he loves Tammy, well, then I love Tammy too.
Something he likely wouldn't have done had he known that Tammy was a deep cover agent or that they were, in a sense, surrounded.
Everyone here is under arrest for crimes against the Federation!
For a man who spent an unknown amount of time and energy avoiding the detection of the Galactic Federation, he was totally wrong about her. Just one of Summer's friends, right? He's even had Tammy in his house where she and Bird Person met.
F me for letting my guard down, which I will never do again.
Jeez, Rick!
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Cronenberging the world. Rick Potion number 9. Morty's crush on his classmate Jessica is an ongoing thing. In one episode, he asks Rick to make him a love potion. Total creep move there, Morty.
Hey, there's no
dangers or anything or side effects, right?
Whoa, what am I, a hack?
Distracted, Rick doesn't warn him about what happens if the subject has the flu.
I didn't realize when I gave you that serum that Jessica had the flu. You know, that might have been valuable information for me, Morty.
When the potion gets out of control, Rick throws together a cure, cocksure as ever. Except he gets it wrong. He tries again and really gets it wrong.
Oh, Rick, something's not right.
Yeah, you're not right.
No,
ever.
No, look, you idiot!
The entire planet's population, except those related to Morty, are horribly mutated, aka Cronenberg, named after body horror auteur David Cronenberg. Things are so desperately bad that Rick's plan is to bail and start fresh. You don't get much more wrong than carelessly destroying the world.
You gotta accept your part of the blame. I'm not the one who fouled up the serum. I'm not the one who haphazardly, mixed a bunch of nonsense together and created a bunch of Cronenbergs.
So what do you guys think? What was the most wrong Rick has ever been on Rick and Morty? Let us know in the comments, and be sure to check out more great content from WatchMojo right here. Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you're a fan of the song playing right now, be sure to check out the music video for it right here.